Hello Michelle, how you doing? It's Delwyn here. Myself, Malachi Lorcan and Ronan were in the group for the RMI project. I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough on my contribution. So we don't know where to start. Now I started off the group rank as Malachi had advised me to do so. We set about having the different types of users we would have. So we have the guest, the member, moderator, admin, and super admin. The idea behind this was if we wanted to kick somebody from a group chat or be able to create a chat or delete or block people, we'd all need to have different permissions on the group chats. So guest is 1,000, member is 999, moderator is 50. Idea behind it was if you had a lower level than the person who was trying to kick you, then you would be kicked. But there was also the super admin now, which would have a true value. See, you could have your super admin value changed as well by a super admin, and it could change the type of person you are, bring your power level down or your group rank up, and it was just a way to walk through it. And then the colours behind it then was the idea behind it for the GUI. So just inside here now, this is the group rank class. We just had test power level, which was working off in enum, which I'll show you now in a second. And it was just checking if the group rank of the first person, if it had super admin status and the second person had super admin status, then the power status was equal and nothing could be done about the request that was put in for the block or as such. But away from that, now we had if the power level was greater than or less than. So if first had a greater power level, then it sent back greater than, and they were able to kick that person. And that's it there, that's what we were working off. Now, with the idea of this, we had the permissions manager, which was to be the best, the controller of all of these aspects. But down the line, the lads found an easier way to do it, but not as efficient. And we decided to go with that then instead, which kind of made this a little bit redundant, but it was used to a certain degree, whereas we weren't using the moderator, but rather using admin and member simply. So it was just can kick it, can ban it, can delete the account. Also, I did a little bit of work on the user singleton with Malachi now. It was just if you could add a member when you were adding a member, and it was working off their ID and the chat member. So it was and just to get member there for the member cache and always pulling it back, and this was really to tell you who was in that chat. Also did a bit of work here on the controller object. Now this was mainly, I think, Ronan's domain, but just asked to put in a couple of methods. Now it was mainly for the rooms, so we had to create rooms here, which was working off room name, and as you can see there, assigns the owner of the session key. So it was just taking into account working off the session map as I had worked with it. So it was getting the UUID. If it wasn't used already, it was assigning it. Sorry, did I show you that? No, sorry, God. Then the session map. Yeah. So when it was adding it in, we were working to see if it was there already. It was built up on a hash map, which is going to get rid of duplication. But also in that way, we were using a session token factory, which was going to generate our random session token for us and put it to string. As you can see here in the session map, it was being brought in here, and then the UUID assigned to it as well. So it was able to tell us where our members were, where what group chats they were involved in also, and the group chat name. So it wasn't duplication. So if you wanted to remove someone from a certain group chat, that it wasn't going to go and remove them from several. No, sorry, back up to the controller object. So it's just to get the members and working off that, So it was able to create the room and then go back in, and you were also able to delete the room as well. Now, also I just did a wee bit now with supervision from Ronan now and the login. It was just bringing in the username and the string password and being able to check if that person exists. If it wasn't null, first of all, but then, to make sure that we didn't have that user already, that we did have that user, sorry, and we were able to log in. And it was working off the UUID as well and session map, making sure it was added in. And then that was how it worked off and was using the random token variable. I think that's mainly it now. It was just a lot of the classes now that I developed at the start was worked off and told what to do and worked off it and got as much done as possible. But then over the break, Ronan and Maliki, they just were able to find, as I was talking about earlier, that it was worked off that it was a less efficient way, but it contained all of our kind of control panel in one class, and that's how they went about it then towards the end. Some now of my code that I had made was redundant, but walked you through what had been done, what hadn't been removed, that's still being used to a certain degree. Also, myself and Maliki sat down a number of occasions and just checked out now where we were going to run into problems and wrote down now what errors we were going to run into and tried to watch out for them. So, we weren't developing the system halfway through and then realizing that we had to back it up nearly to the start and start redeveloping and taking down classes and starting from again and getting the structure right from the beginning. And then if there was any changes that need to be done, they were minimal. And that's it, Grant. Thanks for having a look at it. Cheers.